Welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we're tackling burnout, but with a fun twist.
Oh, burnout with a fun twist. I'm all ears.
So you know how you sent me that transcript from that advice podcast, Whiskers of Wisdom?
Yeah, whispers of wisdom. Super popular, right? Lots of like bite-sized wisdom in there.
Right. Well, they do this thing with riddles, and this one, well, it really got me thinking about, how we view self-care.
Okay, a riddle about self-care. Shoot.
All right, get this.
Yeah.
I'm free, but you treat me like a luxury. I'm the difference between a breakdown and a breakthrough, but you rarely put me first. What am I?
Hmm. Okay, I think I know where this is going.
It's so simple yet.
It's self-care, right?
Exactly.
But it's like we know it, but
We don't really know it.
yeah, it's like we treat it like an afterthought, like something we'll get to someday when things are less hectic.
And that's the thing, right? It's not a luxury. It's essential. And Whispers of Wisdom, they actually pulled this great Louise Hay quote that, like, perfectly captures this.
Oh, I love Louise Hay. What'd she say?
Okay, ready? You have been criticizing yourself for years, and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens.
Whoa. Okay, that hit hard. See, it's that shift, isn't it? From self-criticism to self-approval.
And that's the foundation of real self-care. It's not about, like, bubble baths. Those are nice too. But about,
It's about recognizing your own value and actually believing you deserve to be taken care of.
yes. And when you start there, when you truly believe that, it changes everything.
And that's what the podcast was saying. It's not selfish, it's essential,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And they actually had some really, I thought, surprisingly practical advice for making self-care, less of a mystery and more of a habit.
Okay, I am very curious to hear these practical tips.
Okay, so they had all these tips, but the one that really stuck with me, they said, start your day with 10 minutes, phone free.
Oh, wow. See, that's interesting, right? Because we're so conditioned to think more is more.
Totally. But they were saying, like, those 10 minutes, that's your time to just be present.
Before the deluge.
Before the deluge. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, right? Instead of waking up to that, like, anxiety of already being behind.
Oh, 100%. Checking your phone first thing, it just sets you up for a reactive day, you know?
Totally. You're already in response mode.
Yeah, but this 10 minutes thing, it's like claiming a little bit of peace before the day runs away with you.
And on a similar note, they also talked about unfollowing social media accounts that, don't make you feel great.
Oh, that comparison game. Ugh.
The worst, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it's like so curated.
Just know it's curated, but still
It still gets to you.
gets to you. And then you feel bad about feeling bad because you're like, I know this isn't even real life.
Exactly. Okay, and this one was big for me because I struggle with it saying no without the guilt trip.
Ooh, the art of saying no. That's a tough one, especially I think for women.
Yes, they're often like socialized to please.
Right, to be accommodating. And then
Yeah.
it's like you've overcommitted and you're resentful.
And then everybody loses. But whispers of wisdom, they were saying, like saying no to something is often saying yes to
To
it.
yourself, to your own well-being.
Yes. And they even had that Lizzo quote, if I'm shining, everybody gonna shine.
Love that. Because it's true, isn't it? You can't pour from an empty cup.
Exactly. And sometimes self-care is just saying no to the things that drain you so you can say yes to.
To what lights you up. Which actually leads perfectly into their next point, which was about moving your body.
Oh, yeah. I loved how they framed it, too. It wasn't about, like, intense workouts unless that's your jam, but they were like, even just putting on some music and dancing around your living room.
Which we all do, right?
Totally. They even suggested, like, just doing one TikTok dance move.
Okay, now that's accessible. I love that.
See, and that's the thing, right? It doesn't have to be this big production. It's about finding those little things that bring you joy.
Yeah.
But there was something else Whispers of Wisdom talked about that I've just been, like, turning over and over in my mind. Remember how they kept saying self-care is the foundation?
Oh, yeah, yeah. That really resonated, didn't it?
It did, because it makes you think, like, what happens to the whole structure?
Of your life, your work, your relationships.
Everything. If the foundation is crumbling?
It all gets shaky. You can't build a solid house on a cracked foundation.
Exactly. It's like you're setting yourself up for, well, for a breakdown, right?
Right. And we wonder why we're feeling burnt out. But it's interesting because it goes back to that initial riddle, treating self-care as a luxury, not a necessity.
It's like we're choosing to build on sand.
Right. When we actually deserve that strong foundation.
We do. And I think that's what I appreciated so much about, digging into this Whispers of Wisdom podcast with you,
Mhm.
because it would have been easy to be like, oh, self-care, we know, we know. But they actually gave you some really,
Usable advice, not just love yourself more, but actual, like, steps.
yes, like, okay, 10 minutes, phone free,
Unfollowing that account that makes you feel,
or just putting on music and dancing it out, even
yeah,
if it's just for like 2 minutes. It's about finding what works for you,
exactly. And being kind to yourself in the process.
100%,
Yeah,
because you deserve it.
you deserve it.
Whispers of Wisdom.